Hello, hello, hello. What is going down, y'all? I'm very excited. I'm very, very, very excited to walk you through the healing power of sound today. One way we honor the ancestors in healing through seduction is to focus on breath, to focus on healing through sound, to focus on healing through movement. So I see we have a few people here. Just let me know in the chat if you can hear me and you can see me moving in real time before we get started. And just put a yes or a no in the chat. Fingers crossed y'all can hear me. Can you hear me? I'm going to hope for the best and hope that y'all can hear me and see me okay. Let's get right on into it. So, okay. Hello. All right. Good. I'm glad you can hear me. Okay, so let's get right into it. I want to officially welcome you, especially if you haven't worked with me before. Pearl Noir here. Okay, and let's talk about the intention today. So, I want to take about 15 to 30 minutes to just focus on healing your connection with your body, healing your connection with your sensuality, and quite frankly, healing how you feel about the process of healing. For so many people, we sort of give healing a bad rep. It's like, I'm only going to focus on healing when there's trauma involved, but healing can be done every single day. And when you focus on healing your connection with your body and your sensuality, it helps you trust your power more. Right. And so I know who I attract. I attract the light workers of the world, the leaders, and we want to make sure that you all are feeling good about yourself. Before we get started, let's talk about what you may need. I recommend, bringing a journal to this experience, obviously a pen. If you have any sort of healing property with you, I like to use Florida water while I'm working and doing any kind of healing work. Maybe you want to have some Palo Santo nearby. If you have a candle, feel free to burn it. Okay, and let's talk about the happiness warning, which can then become a trigger warning. Okay, so a lot of times when we have been neglecting our bodies and we take a moment to seduce ourselves with kindness, we take a moment to be very intentional with ourselves. If it's not for the benefit of someone else, it can be triggering to feel happy with ourselves. And I sort of like to compare it to, when have you ever been really, really hungry and you try to scarf some food down, or you just eating too damn fast, and then your body is like, okay, wait a minute, that I didn't want it like that. So you may have that sort of experience today. All right. So let's do a quick breakdown of what we are going to do. You'll see me looking at my trusty notes. I want to start with some breath work. I want to take you through a journal prompt where we are going to let a version of ourselves that we have been suppressing take the wheel. Right. I did this last month where I let my younger version just take full control over my mind and tell me all these beautiful and powerful messages. And I got a lot of beautiful downloads. Okay, then we're going to take a pause and we're going to do a sensual touch exercise. And then I'm going to invite you to write something seductive and romantic and powerful on your body, because I truly believe if the body can hold trauma, it must be able to hold joy. So we're going to lock in that power by writing on our skin. And then I'm going to ask you to dance it out. Hopefully you see, and let me reshare it just in case. I want you to use this playlist that I made for you guys today. I would play the music, but I want to make sure I don't have any copyright issues on YouTube. So I'm going to let you play the music yourself. All right. Okay, I want to go ahead and get started. Just put a 1 in the chat if y'all are ready to get this party started. I want to go ahead and open up the space. We're going to start with consent. We're going to call in our sensual ancestors, our powerful ancestors, and we are going to get into this sound healing today, okay? Just drop a 1 if y'all are ready, okay? Just want to make sure everyone can hear me and see me, okay? All right. So let's go ahead and get started, yeah? Feel free to stand up, sit down, lay down. I want to start by asking the body for consent, asking the mind for consent. And of course, I'm also going to make sure I have your consent to be your sensual Jiminy Cricket during this time, to be your guide. Yeah. Take a moment to take up space by being still and being quiet, understanding that we don't always have to stimulate ourselves. We don't have to be afraid of our own thoughts, our own power, our own energy. Just take a moment to be still. Shh, shh, shh. Placing your hands wherever your body is calling so that you feel safe and grounded in your own body. Let's breathe in here. And if it feels safe, just let out a beautiful, soft moan. We want to ground ourselves by activating that throat chakra. Let's breathe in again. Releasing. And so let's start with consent. I'm going to ask you to give your own body consent, to give yourself a moment to actually say yes, so that you know for a fact you're not just on autopilot during this experience. We want to make sure that your body is on board with your own seduction. Your body is on board with your own liberation and feeling grounded within yourself. So go ahead and rub your hands together until they are too hot to touch. And placing your hands wherever your body is calling. So maybe it's the throat, maybe it's behind the neck, maybe it's near the heart, maybe it's near your thighs, maybe it's your belly. I want you to see if you can feel where your higher self lives, where your inner child is living, where the parts of your personality you have been suppressing is living in this moment. And we're going to ask them for consent. Will you say yes? So just simply ask your body, do I have your consent to feel free in my body? Let's breathe in. A gentle moan out. Moving your hands to another part of your body and making sure you're being very intentional with the touch. So, again, we're not just on autopilot here, just flopping our hands around, caressing the skin with the fingertips, exploring the skin with the back of your hands, holding yourself, being gentle, offering yourself grace here. Let's breathe in again. A gentle moan out. Asking the body for consent again. Do I have your consent to feel grounded in my power? Let's breathe in again. And this time, let out a deep guttural moan if you can. If it feels safe and sacred to you, I want you to envision yourself as you breathe in and out now with the intention as Every time that you inhale, you are calling in your lineage. You are calling in your powerful ancestors. You're calling in your higher self. And each time you breathe out, each time you moan out, you are activating your own sensual power, your own liberation, your own freedom. You're activating parts of you with each breath out. And let yourself play, let yourself see the activation. Shh, 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 shh. Breathing in and out one more time as you activate yourself, as you allow your ancestors to be on this journey with you, because chances are high any issues you have connecting to your body or sensuality may be connected to things that have been learned and passed down generation after generation. Go ahead and offer your body grace and power and thanks in this moment. And now I will ask for consent before we move on to the next portion. And just respond to me just in your mind. No need to write to me in the chat. Do I have your consent to be your sensual Jiminy Cricket for the next 5-10 minutes? So we know Jiminy Cricket was simply a guide, right? But you are in charge of what happens to your body. You are in charge of how you explore, how you heal. I want you to gently come back to your body, come back to this sacred space. And I want us to journal together for about 5 minutes. And I want you to play the first two songs from the playlist. So you should be able to see the playlist in the chat. If you're going to be watching this replay, the playlist is also in the description. And we're going to take a moment to reclaim our body, reclaim our sensuality, reclaim healing for ourselves in this moment through writing, through sound, through storytelling, through romance, through self seduction. So, your journal prompt is to allow yourself to play the music. I'm going to set a timer for about 5 minutes. And I want you to listen to the music, and I want you to envision yourself as a younger version of you writing beautiful, kind, romantic, encouraging words to this version of you. And that younger self can be from 2 days ago. That younger self can be from last year. I'm going to write from the perspective of the woman last year who didn't take endings so well, right? So this past year, due to my spiritual ascension, I've had, the tale as old as time, about 3 to 4 breakups, betrayals back to back to back. And this latest one, I am so proud of how grounded I am in the revelations that I'm receiving. And I've made a conscious decision to focus on the blessings more than the betrayal. And this version of me was not here 12 months ago. So I'm going to take this time to write a beautiful message from the past to this version of me. All right. So go ahead and play those two songs, and we'll come back in about 3 to 5 minutes. All right. I want you to just let yourself write freely. Okay. And just let yourself write freely without thinking. What message would your younger self give to you right now in this moment? All right, y'all. Gently come back. Gently come back. We're going to ask the body for consent one more time. And then I want to encourage you to end this very quick ritual with movement, because we all know movement is medicine. I want you to dance out the messages that you wrote on your piece of paper. And as you are dancing freely, I want you to write what you wrote down on that piece of paper on your body, or maybe you can think of new messages to write on your body. And I want it to be beautiful messages from, again, a version of you that would offer you so much kindness, so much grace, so much romance, so much sensuality. The point of this sound sensual healing is to help you reconnect to your body, help you define what sensuality is for you, help you shift your perspective on healing. The body needs to heal every single day with food and water. It is quite wild to me for us to believe that we're not supposed to nurture and heal our spirit, heal our mind, and all that jazz every single day. When you focus on your connection with your body, you have the power that you need to trust your dreams, to trust your intuition. It helps you honor your boundaries more because you feel when something is off. It helps you show up for the people that you love, your community, your clients, your loved ones, your children. You can then show up without sacrifice. You can show up without being the martyr. You can show up and pour into them with a cup that is overflowing because you're not depleted, because you're not burnt out. Fingers crossed, this is resonating for someone. So let's stand up now. I'm going to stay seated so that I can stay in frame. But stand up if you can. Sit down if that feels good. Lay down. And I want you now to play whatever song you feel called to in that playlist. And we are going to start with consent first. Again, I want you to ask your body for consent to allow you to go there with yourself. Play that song, and the exercise, the assignment is to write a sensual love letter on your skin. Again, if the body can hold trauma, it has to be able to hold joy. Our body is not just keeping score of pain and trauma. Healing isn't limited to pain and trauma, right? So go ahead. I'm going to give you all probably about 2 to 3 minutes to dance this out because I told you I wasn't going to hold you long today. So we're going to do this exercise where I want you to write whatever you wrote on that piece of paper on your body, or just free write. Okay, so start the exercise out, rubbing your hands together until they are too hot to touch. And then I want you to tell the story, tell your body that your fingers, they're a magical manifestation wand, and you are about to manifest the most iconic, the most aligned, the most sensual, the most powerful, the most courageous version of yourself by casting a spell on your own body with your own powerful words. All right. So let's do that. I'll give you all about 2 to 5 minutes. Play whatever song feels good to you. Let me share this link in the chat for the new people. And let's see what happens. All right, let yourself dance and let yourself be free. Off you go. Feel free. I'm going to listen to the music also, so feel free if you want to mirror my moves, but my moves are going to be very soft, very, very subtle, and above the waist. That way you all can still see me. All right, here we go. Okay, slowly come back to yourself, slowly come back to the group. And so, this sort of exercise where you heal yourself through storytelling, where you heal yourself by romancing yourself, by shifting your thoughts, where you heal your connection with your body by actually taking time to connect. You might be numb and disconnected because you're on autopilot all day. And it only takes a second to be intentional with yourself outside of intimacy with other people. It only takes a moment to honor your boundaries with yourself by listening to your body. And whatever changes you're trying to make, again, be it you want to feel more connected to your body, you want to honor your boundaries more, you want to feel more confident, you want to feel more sensual, you want to feel more empowered, you want to stop being on autopilot, you want to stop feeling disconnected and burnt out. You can start by telling yourself a new story through journaling, like we did today. You can start asking your body for consent before you're intimate with yourself and intimate with other people. You can start asking your body for consent before you pour from an empty cup. Okay. So let's talk about some of the principles we focused on today. So we focused on redefining intimacy by shifting our thoughts, by being intentional with how we touched our body, by listening to music that is going to help us get in the mood to be kind to ourselves or be sensual. For a lot of you, you are so disconnected also because you won't stop to be still. You are constantly stimulating yourself with scrolling, constantly watching things where people are being harmed, constantly seeing things that are traumatic images. And that is part of the reason why you are disconnected, why you are on autopilot, and why you are numb. Okay. The other thing we focused on, which we focus on in Healing Through Seduction, is consent. What does it feel like to give yourself consent before you say yes to other people? What does it feel like to heal yourself for the day by simply asking your own body to be on board with whatever it is you're trying to do next? Okay. All right. Let me see how y'all are doing in the chat. I hope this was helpful. I hope you're able to see all of the links. If you can't see the links in the chat, no worries. You can go to the description of this. I will share this replay very, very soon. Okay. I think we're going to end here. I'm going to honor the time frame that I told you guys I was going to be with you today, which is 15 to 30 minutes. Let me know in the chat how you're doing before we roll out. And then also those of you who want to dive deeper, if you are in the business of taking your healing seriously, if you are sick and tired of feeling disconnected, if you do want to focus on your sensuality in a sacred container, go ahead and hit that link so you can learn more about my upcoming offer for 2026. You can book a call through that link so we can see how Healing Through Seduction can help you. Okay. I don't see anything happening in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and log off here, y'all. Thank you so much for your time today. Okay. Oh, let's see. We got someone in here. Okay. Feeling open. Okay. Yes. You are so very welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and roll out. Feel free to share this replay with your friends and family if it was helpful for you. All right, y'all. Until next time. Pew.